Alright, boys and girls, welcome to Week 1 of Conquest Gaming League's League of Legends 5v5. We're in Week 1 of the regular season right now, and this is the first matchup between Team Conquest and Team Royal Pain. I believe each team plays each other twice throughout the season. We'll get in on that later. But right now, here's the default lineup for Team Conquest. We have Kennen, Ezra, Maokai, Jarvan, and Tarek. Versus for Team Royal Pain. I'm going to say that wrong at some point today, Logan. Team Royal Pain has a Janna, Mundo, Swain, Graves, and Cho'Gath.
So,
and
fortunately, due to LoL replay, we can't show you the drafting, but we can do some predictions here. How are you feeling about these lineups, Vic? Got Janna bottom lane versus Tarek support. What are you thinking about that?
I think the Janna bottom lane definitely comes down to the individual skill that Janna plays. I mean, we've seen Janna do awesome in tournament play, and I don't think she's been necessarily nerfed so much as just metagame's gone away from that. So I personally would take Janna over Tarek. I think you're looking at the carries, though there it's Graves and Ezra. So I think the Janna synthesizes well with the Graves matchup because of Graves wanting to always stay in combat. So you get a Janna knockup, that's a couple extra, attack damage shots you can get on whoever you're going at there. Versus Ezra Tarek isn't a bad synergy there. You have Ezra's blinking around, Tarek stunning up, Ezra's slow. So I just happen to think it's going to go more towards the Janna side with that knockup.
I agree with you there. Carry-wise, I think Ezreal's going to have the upper hand over Graves for sure. Just with that range, but it really comes down to Janna play. If she lands those tornadoes and is, active on her shields, she can be a good counter to this. But it really comes down to if the player executes. Whereas, Tarek, he gets out there, he gets a stun. He's pretty straightforward, not as skill-based to play. I mean, you need to know when to initiate, but
yeah.
A little bit easier there.
I think a skilled player can definitely do a lot of things with Tarek, but yeah, you get that perception off the bat that there's a lot less, there's a lot less that you need to do to necessarily feed your carry early on as a Tarek player. Plus, you're just a freaking meat wall in the beginning. Versus Janna, you can't really interject yourself the way Tarek can when, below level 6.
Exactly. What are you thinking about jungles here? We've got Mundo versus Maokai.
Personally, I play a lot of Jungle Mundo, so I'm going to be entirely biased on that. I do think that he's one of the top 3 jungle champions. I am always confused when I see a jungle Maokai. Hopefully this match can enlighten me somewhat on what's going to play out here, but I personally don't think the Maokai is a fantastic jungle, but then again, the way I play Mundo in jungle, I end up picking up a number of kills or directly contributing, and I think the Maokai is more of like a support jungler, so basically you're saying that team has 2 supports in my opinion.
I'm prone to agree. His, ulti with the circle, and then he's got a stun. I don't see Maokai. He doesn't have as big an impact, I guess, directly. He is more supporty, that's very true. But I'm not the biggest fan of his ganks. I mean, the skills he has enables him to jungle effectively. I just don't feel like the rest of his skills early on is going to open up ganks for this team. So
I feel like when you're talking about the core champions right here, the tenets of these champions, Maokai, yeah, you can throw your screaming sapling babies at people, and that's fun, and you can do your version of setting up a little explosive nest trap. But Mundo, once he gets his ultimate at level 6, can dive you. I mean, you can totally bait people. You can appear half health, low health, whatever, because your ultimate actually rewards you for having lower health, right? And then, you can dive people. Mundo has the ability to not care. Mundo literally does go where he pleases, versus Maokai is definitely more of a you're going to play for a long match, I think.
I agree. That makes sense there. Let's talk middles, though. We've got Swain against, I'm assuming, Kennen?
Yeah, Swain against Kennen. So I think Kennen, I happen to have a lot of first-hand knowledge on how the Kennen player plays Ignis, and I'm interested to see him playing Kennen mid. Usually I've seen him in a Kennen top, but Kennen stuns all the things. Run around, throw Ninja Star, stun all the things. So I don't have a lot of first-hand experience with the Swain player or a lot of successful Swains in the matches that I've played. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. I think he does have a good toolkit, and maybe he can get the Kennen on the ropes early. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That range there is going to be an issue too, I think, because having played with and watched this Kennen player before Ignis, he's very good, and it'll be interesting to see him middle. I know he does a lot of top with that. But speaking of top, we've got a Jarvan against a Cho.
Yeah. So Jarvan against Cho, this is a battle of I'm going to dart into you versus I'm going to knock you up and make you run away from me. So I think one of these players gets harassed and frustrated early on, and honestly it's entirely up to that. I feel like their toolkits both synthesize well with the carries and with setting up what their team's going to need later on. Honestly, I think that the team Conquest is going to need some more activity from Jarvan versus I think the blue team Royal Pain has a lot of punch on their own, and Cho'Gath can just go in there and feast and be big and intimidating. But Jarvan's a dunk master in my opinion.
I'm interested to see because I feel like the ganks are going to be better for Royal Pain here early on. I think you get a Cho and you bounce someone and then Mundo rolls in, you got trouble on your plate. But
right.
The other team's going to have to be a little more passive there, like Maokai rolls in. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see. But you ready to get in the game here?
One last thing before we do start. I do happen to have the information here on the bans, if that adds any context to champion selection. Team Conquest actually banned Soraka, Ryze, and Alistar. And Team Royal Pain banned Shen, Ahri, and Zyra. This match was, of course, recorded before this week's release of Diana.
Interesting. I know Alistar makes sense. He's pretty brutal. I can totally see getting him out of the way as a support. Zyra, good intro week this week. She does ridiculous burst damage.
Yeah. I definitely think that Royal Pain's made a good choice banning Zyra and banning Shen. Those are both champs that are just going to wreck your night. So, Conquest, interesting to see Conquest banning two supports in Soraka and Alistar. I normally wouldn't have wasted bans on supports, particularly if you're picking up Taric as well. So, I don't know.
I think they were shooting to get... I don't know the picks that they did in order, but I think they were shooting to get a weaker support on the other team, which it's debatable if Jan is weaker. We'll have to see the level of play that since Sinchill has on Janna. I don't think I've actually seen him play her before.
No, I don't think I've seen him play. I think the last time I saw Sinchill, he was actually organizing a tournament over at Conquest Gaming. If you guys have some free time, go ahead and check them out. I know they do monthly tournaments, usually open to the public to register, so check those guys out.
Yep, they do as well. And if you're interested in the CLG League, I know in probably a month and a half here, we're going to open up our registration again and get another tournament together. So you can check that out at cqgaming.com. But you ready to get in the game here, Vic?
I am indeed. Let's hit the old play button.
All right, you want to count us down?
In 5, 4, 3. This is going to be a TV countdown.
All right, starting off here, getting some buys. Nothing looking too out of the ordinary here. Yeah. Janna opening, though, with a pink ward.
Yeah, pink ward, that's interesting.
I think they're going to get... I know last night I was playing against a Twitch when I was playing. Pink wards, I had them for the Twitch, but at the same time you can, very early on, counter... You can counter ward there, and it actually gets you ahead. I mean, you get 25 gold off a green ward. That's, money they've lost and money you've gained, so...
Yeah. That is a nice tidbit there. And actually, Maokai not grabbing any boots as a jungler. I often jungle and just grab armor up front, but Maokai grabbing regrowth pendant. So, I don't think he's particularly speedy jungler as it is, and regrowth pendant over armor is definitely an interesting choice. Mundo yet to buy, actually.
Interesting. I wonder if I had a DC there. That's actually the Jarvan has yet to buy. The Jarvan. Mundo decided to go with Cloth Armor. Team Royal Pain here, setting up just for a defense, as well as Team Conquest. Royal Pain, though, all grouped up. Let's see what they do here.
A summoner has reconnected.
Yep, Jarvan is DC'd there, so they are... He'll be buying right now and getting back in.
Yay for GCing before the match starts.
Alright, and we've got level 1 team fight here. Team Conquest trying to help them get that blue. Royal Pain is getting out of there. Kenny gets a good poke on Swain before he goes.
Nice. Getting those pokes in can definitely turn the tide sometimes. I mean,
especially
I think
early
you
on.
want to display early aggression.
I mean, shake up your opponent. Both sides look like they ended up making it out okay. Nothing too bad here. Got a ward down by Dragon. Not the pink one, though. Just using a green. I'm interested to see, it's interesting to see, I guess, that ward going down that early. I don't feel like Maokai is that early of a ganker.
Right, but, I mean, ward early, ward often. That's always the best advice, right?
True. I feel like there's two real camps on that. Wow, top getting really pushed back. Cho'Gath taking some damage from our early DC Jarvan. Bottom trading relatively even here. Already popping from Cho'Gath. And Jarvan's going in again. Dealing some pretty good damage. Down to 2 bars on that Cho'Gath. Just 200 health.
Yeah, that is quite a huge health discrepancy up top.
Jarvan, yeah, is just punishing Cho, and he's got him out of lane. Mana's low on Cho, too, which is never a fun situation to be in.
Cho, too gentlemanly.
Right, give him all the creep.
Mundo's super low health at Wraith Camp.
Right, he's back in though, it's not a big deal. It would have been a larger deal if, say, Maokai had gone for a counter jungle, but... Team Royal Pain pushing up bottom to tower there. Not a lot of action though, very passive on the bottom. Jarvan backed. He actually has already purchased his... he got a magic mantle to get rid of some of that magic damage off of Cho there. So, going to be even more ahead. And he was able to deny enough creep too that it's not a huge deal that he went back. He is actually still 10 creep score up on this Cho. So, that was smart.
Glad to see our Jarvan players not suffering from latency after that disconnect.
Middle, also trading pretty evenly. Creep score is pretty similar in middle too. But we do have a gank setup. Here comes Maokai rolling in. And they're looking really good on this. Let's see if the gank gets down. And yeah, just Mundo in there a little slow. Very nice gank in center there. Top getting pushed back. Jarvan just doing a great job of keeping Cho at bay there.
What do we think about our carry so far in the match? We getting a good setup down there?
You know, that gank in mid, I wasn't watching bottom, but it looks like Team Conquest had a good push against them. Once again, push up to tower. Swain coming back in middle, able to relieve Mundo there so he can get back in the jungle. And Cho straight off creep, super far. 16 to 37 creep. That is not not looking good for